Hello, everyone, and welcome to our mid-season driver ratings. Well, quarterly driver ratings. We are in quarter three for the F1 season. We're about to enter quarter four, and we thought it's the perfect time to rate the drivers based on how they've done in the last six races. I'm Ajax. I'm joined by Sorgan.
Hello, welcome everyone. We're here to rank the drivers again.
Yeah, and we've had no driver changes this time. Very good, very good. So we don't have to mess around like last time. But yes, shall we head straight into it? I mean, it's been an interesting part of the season. I wouldn't say that there's been too much excitement. There's no races that pop out to me as like the most exciting race, right? Compared to like
Yeah,
Silverstone, say. Um, but it's been decent. It's been decent.
yep. It has. I feel like it didn't have like the best races, like in this part of the calendar, but I feel like they haven't been like that awful. Like it's not all Monaco, right? We've had some really boring parts of the races, but even the most boring races had some interesting moments and interesting talking points. So we've been able to cover that pretty well, I would say.
Yeah, yeah. So let's head straight into it. We start with Colapinto, the Alpine driver. Of course, mid-season change from doing, so we added a little bit on the side, but we haven't had another change, which might shock some people. But yeah, he's here. Do you wanna start? You're on the left hand side. I think it's only right.
Yeah, I guess we can start from the bottom to the top. I feel like we've done that last time
Yeah, I
around.
think I think we did
Uh,
that every time. That's the only reason I was thinking.
yeah, okay. Colapinto. I feel like he has improved uh, slightly after he's been like established at the Alpine team. It's definitely not easy with such a boss and such an environment, obviously at Alpine. We've seen what happened over the years, people going out and in, and drivers not being stable as well. Uh, Even Gasly, who's like been there for years, it's not a long time in the grand scheme of things, and is their most stable driver right now, who just extended recently as well, which was a questionable decision, but I mean he wants to stay in Formula One on any cost. So yeah, back to Colapinto. I feel like he's been improving steadily, reaching Gasly's level. I feel like he's outqualifying him more often than not in the last six races as well. I feel like he should get a solid rating. I'm gonna give him a 5.5. Still not great, but it's around the middle of the pack. Like he's had some good moments, beating Gasly, but nothing like spectacular or anything.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I mean, for me, he's got his best result 11th in the Dutch Grand Prix. Uh, he's doing better, right? But still, he's still on no points, right? Or at least maybe one. But he's still on very lacking in points. I'm gonna up him from my
He doesn't have
two.
any points.
He still doesn't have any points yet. I'm gonna
Yeah.
up him to my from my two to a three. But I still think it's been disappointing. It's been disappointing, and that will reflect on Gasly as well because Gasly's got like 1 point in the last six races. It's just Alpine's hilariously bad. So yeah,
Yeah, the team and the car is not just not working right now. I feel like they've all just moved over to next year. They're going Mercedes engines. Like considering they've had the worst engine on the grid for the last few years, and they've still like there's been moments where the car has been very good, and I feel like if they would have had Mercedes engines this entire time, they could have been way more competitive. But we'll see that next year if they can build a good chassis for the Mercedes engine and the regs work for them. When it comes to Gasly, I'll actually jump to both Sabers because I want to cover the team as a whole.
yeah,
Gasly, uh, just like Colapinto, nothing spectacular. He has the point finish in Belgium, I think, but apart from that, nothing really. He's been like matched and beaten by Colapinto now recently as well, which is like, yeah, I'm not saying Colapinto is a bad driver at all, but it's not a great look for a driver that established in Formula One as Pierre Gasly is. Uh, I feel like he should have more of a gap over Colapinto that he has right now. I'm gonna give him actually a 5, below Colapinto. I feel like Colapinto has been the struggling driver of the two. Maybe I haven't looked that much on them to have a like super knowledgeable opinion, but I feel like that's the vibes I'm getting from that team right now.
Yeah, definitely. I think it's more so. I'm gonna preface my thing with it's more so on the car right than them, but I just can't give them a good rating because they are doing poorly. These aren't bad ratings though. Like last season, if you look at what we give people, up here I've gave Sonoda a 1. So these aren't bad ratings, but I'm also going to pretty much match. He's got 1 point, so I'm going to match him. I do think he's doing worse than Colapinto, but he's actually got a point. So yeah, I'm going to give Gasly a 3, um, just to punish that team a bit, more so than the drivers. But yeah, the team has been poor as of late, and you can tell this is struggling. It's struggling out there.
Yeah. Yeah.
By the
Can
way,
you go
just
for Salvers? I'm looking doing something with the formula, so you
yes, I
can
was literally
go
about
for
to mention that. I'm going to start with Bortoletto. Obviously, Bortoletto and our boy Hulkenberg were doing amazingly last time. Although Bortoletto hasn't got really maybe the trumps for it, but I think Bortoletto came in a lot more into his own. A ninth and a sixth in Hungary and the Belgium. The car's gone a little bit off now. Since then, I would say they haven't really hit the stride. But I was still impressed. But he got an eighth in Italy. I'm very impressed by Bortoletto, especially because I'm not sure if this is true, but I believe he might beat Hulkenberg in almost every race of the last 6 races. Um, so
yeah.
that is incredibly impressive. So and because I don't think he maybe got a high enough rating last time, I'm going to give him a really good rating. Um, I don't give, as you know, I don't give 0.5s. So I was aiming towards 7.5, but I might just move him up to an 8.
Like 8 is very deserving. Just quickly gonna mention the averages on the right side. They're not really updated. They will update after we put the rankings in them. So right now they're not accurate. Only the Alpine's one are, but yeah, they'll update eventually as the videos goes on. So
You'd have
just that
fixed
out
the
of the way.
Alpine one as well, I'm guessing. Given
Yeah,
that, yeah.
I had to make it. Yeah, because Duan's like 1 rating, Colpin's two has 2 ratings. It's yeah,
Yes,
a little
yes, yeah.
complicated. I managed to figure it out. Anyways, Bartoletto. I've been very impressed by him. He's been outqualifying Hulkenberg left and right, and outscoring him as well, pretty convincingly. Like Hulkenberg hasn't finished in the points ever since his podium. Bartoletto like 3 times, I believe.
So yeah, I was
With
I was gonna say I was just checking. Hulkenberg's beat him once in the last 6 races,
yeah, he also was like
and that was
he
outside
was
the points as well.
yeah, Hulkenberg like was meant to be him in Singapore as well, but he made a mistake and finished last as
Yes.
well. Bartolotto has been very, very good, very impressive for a rookie to be, well, right now better of the two in the Sauber, and that's a very good thing to have for next year as well. I don't think Audi will be like super competitive, but if he can establish himself as the number 1 driver for next year, that would be very good for his career because it's a works team, and if that team builds up, perhaps in like 3 or 4 years, maybe he could challenge for wins. That team, very good for him, I would say. I'm gonna give him a very high rating. I feel like I'm gonna go with like 8.5, just like HR in the first 6 races. I feel like Bottas has been very, very good, very similar to Hajar in this case. And obviously, he's had some weaker moments, but that comes with having a rookie season.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
He's only gonna get better.
On the flip side, I'm gonna have to punish Hulkenberg. He isn't getting the points as you mentioned. As we just said, he's consistently lost against Bortoletto. And going from that Silverstone podium to this is a bit of a whiplash. I am really excited to see how they do in Audi together, because this season has been really good. They look like a really good pair of drivers to have, a really strong pair of drivers to have. Very little weakness. So, but because of, I'm going to have to give him a 3 as well. No points, you know. I feel like I gave Hulkenberg and Gasly, Colapinto and Gasly that. I'm going to have to give him that as well. I don't think he's drove awfully, which is why it isn't like a 2 or 1. But I am going to be a little cruel.
I don't think you're cruel, honestly. I feel like you actually
hit the nail on the head. Thank you.
No, actually, look, I'm often biased for Hulkenberg. He's my favorite driver. Come back to Formula One, now got his maiden podium. It's like it's been very good.
Don't worry, my favorite driver is also going to get it later as well.
The last six races were the worst part of any session of any 6 race session of any driver of the current grid this year. This is a 1.5. It's been awful. Getting destroyed in qualifying pretty much every single time since Singapore in the races, no progress at all. He's been getting bad qualifyings in like the entire season pretty much, but he has been actually been able to get into the points from them. Crazy strategies, very good drives. Obviously, the podium is the highlight, but ever since then, he's just not being the Hulkenberg from the first half of the season. Really, just nothing there. It's being bad, like in terms of speed, bad in terms of racing. Now, finally was ahead of Bortoletto during the weekend and spun on his own. Pretty much, very very bad judgment with that. It could have ended even worse to be in the wall and crash damages, all of that. I don't feel like this is even harsh. This is
fair
enough. It's been. I'm very very upset with Hulkenberg because I wanted to do well, and I mean, it's difficult to be critical of your favorite driver, but I really need to be. This was a very very bad stretch, and it can only get better, I think. And I hope that this last part of the season works out for him because it's been a very, very bad run of races. The last 6, to be specific, ever since his podium, it's been really bad. Yeah, 1.5 for me. I was considering a 1, but it would be like Mazepin Latifi territory, and I don't think we're quite there yet.
On to Lawson now. I think Lawson's going to go under the radar here, right? I think he's done a decent job. I think he's done pretty well in that Racing Bull. I think, when you look at this part of the season for the Racing Bulls, the big thing to shout about is obviously going to be that 3rd place for Hadjar in the Dutch Grand Prix. But I think Lawson's actually almost got exactly the same amount of points as him over the last 6 races. So... I think Lawson's done a good job. He gained 5th in Azerbaijan. There's been a few moments where you're probably wanting him to do a bit better, such as we said in at the Dutch Grand Prix. But overall, pretty happy for him. I think he's done well. I'm gonna give him a 7. It's difficult, right? Because I sort of want to give him the same points as Hadjar, but I'm pretty sure they've got almost identical points in the last 6 races, or Lawson might have more, to be honest.
They've been very close recently, but I think the points maybe equal or even on Hajar's side because he got the podium in Zandvoort, which is important to mention
I'm gonna
as to rating.
I'm gonna work it out whilst you do yours, and come back to
When it
you.
comes when it comes to Liam, it's been very very good in the last 6 races, getting some great results. Well, either he's maximizing his weekend or having a very unfortunate contact or some just silly error or whatever. And in qualifying, sometimes it doesn't work out like in Zandvoort. If he would have qualified better, it could have been like up there with Hajar. It's like those moments that still keep him from a super high rating, but it's been much better than in the first half of the season. Consistent points, sometimes just not perfectly executed weekends, but he's been very decent. Just needs more consistency and needs to beat Hajar more. After all, Hajar is a rookie, and yeah, technically Lawson could be classified as well, but he's he's been driving in his third season, I believe. Like not full third full season. This is his first full season, but the third season of Formula One. Uh, needs to show some more dominance over Hajar, and that's nothing against Hajar. Obviously, he's
I can
very impressive,
confirm
but yes.
Lawson has one more point than Hadjar in the last 6 races.
Okay, interesting. What was the other way, but
It's gonna affect my ratings. Actually, what I will say is actually I'm gonna move on to Hadjar. I'll let you do Lawson and then I'll move on to Hadjar. Actually,
giving Lawson a 7.5.
yes, that's fair. What I will say is, Hadjar obviously had that incredible drive. Otherwise, he's got 2 10th places. I think, so basically, what the point breakdown is Lawson's got 2 8ths and then a 5th, so he's got 18 points, and then Lawson has a third and then 2 10ths, which is 17 points. So yeah, one more point, which tempts me to put them on the same amount of points, but I think I'm gonna have to move them up to an 8. I think I'm gonna move them both up to an 8, because I've been impressed. I'm very happy for that team to do well. Overall they've not amazed, right? But I'm feeling nice. So I'm both on an 8.
Interesting. Because I'm also giving it the same rating for Hajar as Lawson. I feel like
Yeah, that's the right.
obviously they peaked at different races, but
Yeah.
overall, I feel like they're very comparable. Like both of them had a very
It's
good moments and
interesting.
less good, but still like very very solid. And yeah,
It's interesting. Apart from Azerbaijan, they've never been in the points together. And in Azerbaijan, it's Hajar in 8th and Lawson in 5th. So it's a bit Hajar in 10th and Lawson in 5th. So it's a very big disparity. But bear in mind how many incidents the top drivers have had. It's interesting that they just can't seem to match each other. Right, on to Alonso. I'm actually unsure of any of Alonso's results. A 5th in Hungary.
yep.
I mean, he's done well.
Seventh in
He's done,
Singapore.
yeah.
I feel like he goes 7th in Monza as well. No, actually didn't.
I don't think did he finish.
Yeah,
I can't remember.
no. It's not Monza.
I think he's like done well, but I don't think he's done. I think there's some races where he's peaked, some races where he's a bit off it. But I don't think he's gained too many points this part of the season. I'm just going to go a box. I mean, I still think he's doing okay. I'm going to do a bog standard 6. That's what I'm going to give him. And I'm just going to move on because I don't think there's much.
Yeah, I remember Alonso was like up in the points in Monza until his car broke down as usual. It's Fernando Alonso after all. But yeah, P5 in Hungary, P8 in the Netherlands, and P7 in Singapore. And there's a P17 in Belgium, but the car was awful there. And Azerbaijan P15, same thing. So yeah, when it comes to Alonso, very very good. Just I don't feel like quite as good as the second quarter of the season. I'm gonna give him an 8.5, just like Bortoleto. Very very good moments. Not quite a 9 elite level. He's had some weaker moments, but a lot of bad luck as well. Monza, Zandvoort, even Belgium. Yeah, he's been throwing a very very high level. I feel like still, but it's Alonso. We are meant to expect that.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Um, yeah, I think that's quite a high rating. I can't lie to you, but
Yeah, when I'm thinking like I kind of think of like a weekend where it's been bad. You know, like
I mean, yeah, I guess I think he's beat Stroll in every weekend.
like,
So
Belgium, we finished behind Stroll, but I don't even know what happened during that race to Astons because they've been like last by far. It was Netherlands. That's
did they
sorry,
not?
Hungary.
They both changed their engine there, didn't they?
I feel like they've been like last row in qualifying in Belgium.
Yeah, I think they changed their engines. Lance Stroll beat him in the Dutch Grand Prix.
Strategy, pure strategy. When I think about it,
I
I don't
mean,
know if you remember
yeah, yeah,
they
fair enough.
pitted Stroll solely, and then Alonso's strategy was completely ruined. But
I mean,
yeah, the
I'm
usual.
not gonna streak. I'm gonna streak past Stroll. I'm gonna give Stroll a 4. I think he's done fine. I think he's worse than Alonso this part of the season, but I don't think he's done terribly either.
Yeah, Stroll has been very invisible in the well, last 6 races.
I,
Nothing really to mention. He's been obviously finishing at the points like in Hungary, but Alonso has been
he's still only a
better
few
in that
points
race.
behind Alonso, isn't he?
And yeah, Zandvoort was also like it was a good drive, but helped by a very good strategy. But then nothing to take away from his drive. But after apart from those 2 races, like he's been nowhere really. It's not been good. I'm gonna give him a 4 as well. I
Yeah,
don't feel
only
like it's
4
been as
points.
bad as the 6 races before that, but yeah,
Yeah, I
it's
think that's
really
fair.
just the Stroll season. He hasn't outqualified Alonso in like 30 races now. It's a
But
crazy
that's to
stat.
be expected. Um, yeah, he's only 4 points behind still. Pretty nuts. Pretty nuts. Uh,
Yeah.
Ollie Behrman. Now we were discussing this morning, right? When we
Yep.
discussed this, Ollie Behrman's done well this part of the season. He hasn't done anything crazy. Don't get me wrong, but a ninth in Singapore, he seems to be outdoing Ocon consistently. Um, he broke his points. He broke when he kept getting 11th. For a bit, he kept getting 12th instead, which isn't as good. But I think he's done. I think he's done decently. A sixth in the Dutch Grand Prix. You know, I think for Behrman, who had a shaky start to the season that we were both a bit like off on, right? I think we can agree on that. He's actually started to find some form, find some footing in that car, and therefore I'm gonna give him a 7.
Mhm. I'm looking at his results. He has finished ahead of Ocon in every single race, the last 6 races except the one he DNF'd.
Yeah,
I actually not sure what caused the retirement in Hungary because that was a that was a like 3 months ago. Or, it's been a long time ago. I cannot remember everything, but apart from that, it's been very impressive. Definitely his strongest stint so far in Formula One. I'm gonna give him an 8. Very good
yeah,
performance. His flashy points as well, which is like something drivers like Jared Lawson had as well. Like his P6 in Sandberg especially, like that was very good. Singapore, like, he destroyed Ocon the entire weekend.
Meanwhile, Ocon on the flip side, 1 point right in the Dutch Grand Prix. He is still ahead of Behrman quite considerably in the championship. Behrman's still 19th, but yeah, it's been a weekend for a poor few races for Ocon. You know, you'd expect to see more from a driver with you know, than to be. We talked about this already, right? There's a bunch of rookies on the grid. You expect the main driver to be able to beat the rookie, but yeah, he just can't seem to do it currently. And I'm gonna be. Maybe this is cruel, considering that I, you know, have gave low points for this is. I'm gonna give him a 2, which I know is less so than Hulkenberg and like Colapinto and Gasly, but I just not been impressed.
He scored as many points as Gasly, Hulkenberg, and Colapinto combined.
Yes, I know, but I think when Ollie's doing what he's doing, I'm slightly more impressed.
It's strange because like the dynamic in Sauber and Haas, like you've gave them a 5 point difference between both of them, but what made you put Sauber's ahead of Haas's?
What made you put Sauber ahead of Haas?
Because there's no doubt that the Sauber
What do you mean?
was the better car across the 6 races.
Across, I'm not sure. I think it's a lot more even now between those two teams, at least. You know, you say between those 6 races. I think the first 2, obviously, clearly the Sauber's better, but I think it's very even now between them both. I mean, if anything, I'd drop Hulkenberg another point, but you know, I'm pretty okay with him on a 3. It's 1 point, right? I don't think that's too much of a saying, and I think Hulkenberg has got a bit more lucky than Ocon has.
Interesting. Getting a 3. I feel like it was as bad as Hulkenberg, but definitely not.
You had Hulkenberg on a 1.5.
Yeah, because Hulkenberg's stint was really, really bad. It was like nothing really good to talk about except qualifying Bortoleto in Singapore.
When you said as bad as him, I was like, you can see my
because I don't feel like you've quite realized just how bad Hulkenberg has been.
I'm happy to drop Hulkenberg to a 2.
Because under no circumstance I will give Ocon a lower rating than Hulkenberg.
Let's do it then. There you go. 2-2. They both deserve a 2.
But still, Ocon has not been good. I mean, this is the second lowest rated driver right now. That may not even change, but yeah, not a great stint. But I mean, drivers like these in the midfield, they can have a good run of form and bad run of form. It's all like very much from race to race. Like we could see Ocon getting the points in the next 3 races, and the narrative would change a lot. But yeah, we should expect more from Ocon, especially from his experience and his track record. Like he was a very comparable teammate to Alonso in his stint in Alpine. Yeah, I got beaten by Ricciardo and Renault, but that was a long time ago as well. And yeah, very comparable to Gasly in the Alpine as well. Now we've sort of got a rookie teammate who's, based on our ratings, has been the better driver in the Haas so far. Interesting. Yeah.
Yeah, fair enough. I think we have similar opinions there. I don't think we're too far off. I probably did just give Hulkenberg a bit more leeway because I like him. Right, on to Carlos Sainz. Obviously, amazing podium at the Azerbaijan Grand Prix, and a fully deserved one. Right, he was right up there. He absolutely blitzed his teammate. Did really well in the wet, which I'm sure that Williams is probably not that fun to drive in the wet. Obviously, I would say his teammate is still probably done better at every other race, I would say. Right? I don't think I'm being an idiot saying that.
Or saying about Azerbaijan that it's Alpine has been better.
No, yeah, I was saying that apart from Azerbaijan, Albon's been better. I think Albon's got like a
Well,
sixth and a fifth somewhere.
yeah, got fifth in Frankfurt, and seventh in Italy.
So
Carlos has beaten Singapore, beaten him in Hungary and Belgium. Obviously, Carlos got points in the sprint, and Alex got points in the race. It was
I just
like a,
think Science has had a very high, but Alex is still consistently doing better, is what I'd say. Um, but I'm gonna have to give him. I'd still give him. I'm tempted to give him the same around Lawson and Hajar, but that car's quicker, right? The Williams is quicker. We both agree there.
yeah. Williams is definitely quicker.
I'm gonna give him a 7. Ooh, 7. There you
Okay, Carlos. Finally, finally scoring points. Finally, actually beating his teammates. It was very, very bad season so far for Carlos, but yes, I feel like the podium really helped him and could have gotten at a better time at this point of the season. Uh, he's been improving against his teammate as well. There's been some weaker moments, but a lot of bad luck still, like those contacts with Lawson and so on. Like, yeah, much better, but still not quite Carlos Sainz level that we used to see.
Yeah,
I feel like a
definitely.
7.5 is justified. Uh, obviously, amazing podium. Actually, I'm gonna give it an 8
Okay.
because it's still a podium in the midfield car. Like Albon hasn't still finished on a podium in his entire Williams stint.
Well,
Not like it's been a worthy car, but
can I
but
chuck
still,
something
like,
at you then? Right,
yeah.
Hajar got a podium in a lesser car.
Um,
You gave him a 7.5.
okay. When it comes to the speed of the racing bulls compared to the Williams, I feel like it's a lot of track dependent as well.
Yeah, that's fair.
Like
That's fair.
some races, it's the the fifth biggest team, the Williams, and the next race is going to be Racing Bulls and so on. Like you switch every single weekend. I feel like Racing Bulls has been very quick in Zandvoort, but the Williams has been quicker in Azerbaijan, for example, and so on. Like, but other than that, have been very comparable. I feel like those cars are like have their
Yeah,
highs and lows. And overall, X versus 6 races, uh, I would probably lean more towards actually Racing Bulls, just by like that. There's half a point there, pretty much. Uh, I think about it, but the recency bias told me that Williams was better when you asked me that question. But that's mostly due to the podium and the point finish in Singapore, but also Hadjar been fighting for that point, but his strategy was worse. So yeah, I feel like I'm staying
yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
with my
I was
prediction.
just asking. Um, Albon's difficult, right? I'm cut between an 8 and a 7 because I think he's done well, right? I don't think there's been. I mean, he literally at one point was ahead of Kimi Antonelli, which is incredible in a Williams, right? Um,
Yeah.
Obviously, a lot of people ahead of Sonoda. Quick mention of that, but yeah, he was at one point ahead of Kimi Antonelli in 7th until Kimi started locking in a bit more. Yeah, I'm gonna give him an 8 just because I think he has been better than Science still. So I was tempted to give him a 7, making them equal, but when I think about it, like he's got like 2 fifths or a fifth and a sixth, and then he's done pretty well otherwise point wise. I just think he's a pretty insane driver this year. I honestly wouldn't shock me. Outside shout here, if Mercedes are thinking maybe we do replace Antonelli with Albon. It would actually shock me if they were thinking that. I just don't think it's the worst decision ever. I get that Antonelli's their golden child, but
Yeah,
I
I
think
don't think they'll do that. or a driver, like he still would be a placeholder at that team.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, I guess so. But they're obviously
That
got
would
a
be a
good.
temporary decision. I don't feel like it's worth it at this point.
Him and Russell are very good friends. I don't think it's necessarily temporary. I mean, it's temporary, but at the same
Okay.
time,
Imagine Mercedes gets a championship winning car next year. Then it's like a Hamilton Bottas situation. They could keep him,
yeah. But okay,
but
imagine if
if
they.
Max is available on the market for 27, there's no
Oh, I
way Albon is
see.
taking the team.
I see. I see. I see. Yes. No, you're right
So
there. You're
I
right
feel
there.
like it would be a logical decision to give chance to Albon for one season
Here's
just to
my,
keep giving
here's my
away.
thing, right? Though, if they have a championship winning car, is Antonelli the driver to keep as your second driver when you want someone to protect Russell and so on?
Well,
Even if it's
based
for a
on
season.
season, it's it's difficult to judge because Antonelli is like in a good form right now as well,
I mean,
and he has had some bad races this season, but also had some good moments, and
you
he's still
got to.
his rookie. He's still 18 years
Yeah.
old. I believe he can improve only
Yeah. Okay.
the next year.
I do.
I don't feel like
We'll get
I
to
don't
it
feel
when
like it
we
would
get to
be
Antonelli,
worth it.
but I do have some choice words for Antonelli.
Okay. Well, considering my album ranking, I'm gonna give him. I gotta, I gotta go with a rating that's like higher than Carl's. I feel like I'm gonna stick with an 8. It's been better than the previous stint with the free retirements. Obviously, that it's like a P5, 6, 7 against a P3, P10, and a P6 in a sprint. And like, and if in those races that the other didn't finish in the points, it's not been like they've been awful. Maybe like we could argue for Alex in Azerbaijan and maybe Carlos in Italy, but yeah, it's not like they're much far from each other. I don't feel like any of them deserve a ranking higher than the other. It's like they both had very good moments and both had lesser good moments. Just like in racing bulls, I feel like I would say the half a point really is just that I feel like Racing Bulls has been the quicker car over the last 6 races, just by a little bit.
Okay.
But yeah,
Right, Lewis Hamilton. Before I go into this, still throwaway driver, but yeah, terrible part of the season. His best finishing position was sixth. Just to put that into context, Yuki Tsunoda's best finishing position in the last 6 races has also been sixth. Sainz, Hadjar, Albon. There's a bunch more drivers I can mention have got into that top five. Lawson, right? We mentioned was in the top five once, I think. You know,
I feel like
I
Bortoleto was
could,
as well.
yeah,
And
Bortoleto maybe.
P6. Oh, okay, P6 only.
Okay,
So.
he also got P6. There's a bunch of drivers we can mention. It has been, and by the way, that's his best finishing position. His other ones are seventh, eighth, and then two DNFs. I'm pretty sure, and then one outside the points maybe. So, how much do we put expectation in? Right,
I feel like this should be like
it's a one or two.
80% performance, 20% expectation and circumstance.
I'd give him a two.
Yeah, I see.
He might
Honestly.
deserve it. He was very close to a one there. I think my bias is giving him a two. I can't lie.
No. I feel like actually like very realistic, but I'm still like not. Yeah, I'm more leaning towards Ferrari being absolutely incompetent than
Yeah,
Lewis
no, I
being straight
know,
up
but
bad.
like at the same time, I just went over the drivers that have got
But
top five. If he'd got a top five, maybe I'd be able to give him a bit more. But
look, the only argument here is like that Charles has been better in every single race
yeah,
in the last
exactly.
6 races as well. Like That's the only metric is your teammate, and your teammate has beaten you pretty much every single time. Yeah, he's got qualified Charles in Singapore. Wow, but he absolutely failed the start, and Leclerc was able to jump him, and yeah, I like even with that strategy that he was meant to finish P5, uh, that was because there was no one behind, and he could have pitted for another set of tires and uh, without any risk. He was pretty much he pitted and came up to the pits in the exact same place. If there was a car behind him, he would have pitted and would have even challenged for a P5 potentially. So yeah, not looking good for Lewis right now. Really bad form, but still, like, there's still some hope. There's still some potential that he could unlock with that car, but that car needs to not break down so easily. And yeah, Ferrari is in such a bad spot right now. The team is not doing well internally as well. There's been some rumors that the mechanics are not in a good spot with Charles as well.
Okay.
The
Wow.
car not behaving, and yeah, the car is not good. It's not good. They only have one podium in the last 6 races as a
I
team.
can't. They literally just gave him a contract as well. Their team principal. I cannot believe it.
Yeah, I don't feel like Fred is doing a great job with his Ferrari. I feel like the entire season is on the person who decided to build a brand new car for this season and not just evolve the last year's almost constructor winning car. Because
Yeah.
that was one of the worst decisions that someone could have made, and I believe that's on team principle there.
Christian Horner.
Like, imagine if Christian Corner comes to Ferrari, that would be like,
It did. I
yeah,
honestly would not shock me.
that would
They'd
be
be.
so like controversial as well.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but I don't
we'll
know.
see.
I don't know. I mean, I don't want him back in the sport, right? Let me make that clear. But I do think it makes some sense.
I guess it does to some extent, but I
But
like what was
I don't think the
Targa.
drivers would be happy. Maybe so. Maybe it doesn't actually make sense. But they need someone. They need someone different because this is awful.
Okay, Lewis gets 3.5 from me. Actually, no, I'm gonna go 4. Same as Stroll. Oh, that's hard to see you, but it's not been good. It's similar to his first stint, like but that had at least like that moment in the sprint in China that we where he won.
Go
I
and
feel like
steal James Valves. Go and do it.
that's not been like a flashy moment from Lewis in the last 6 races. There's really been nothing to
Sorry,
talk about it.
I was still talking about which team principal should take over.
Yeah, I know. Sorry.
It's alright.
I wanted to like move on because
Yeah, yeah.
I feel
No,
like
sorry.
I have to
Yeah, no
go in
problem.
soon. So yeah,
We
we need
got. We
to
still got
hurry
time.
up
We still got
a
time.
little bit.
It's been moved back 30 minutes, so we're fine. Um,
Okay.
Charles
Go on.
Leclerc. I think he's done half decent. I'm not going to punish him for, as you say, the car is pretty naff at the moment. A third and then two fourths, right, is his best positions. Otherwise, any other finishes, but consistently beating Hamilton as well. I'm not going to give him an 8, but I'll give him a 7.
Hmm.
I just don't have much to say there, I don't think. I don't have much to say on Leclerc.
It's it's difficult, man. Like to talk about Ferrari right now, then they've been so bad as a team
Yeah. Yeah, no, I
in
agree.
every single aspect, pretty much. Like as a team, we were like they're one of the favorites from the constructors this year, and they're at risk to losing to Max Verstappen racing in the constructors.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm talking about, right? But yeah, I think Leclerc has done enough to get a 7, right? Maybe you could argue a 6, right? But I think
Uh,
I think
yeah,
I'll be nice to him.
yeah, it's so difficult to judge, but I feel like yeah, it's been similar to a start of the season where the Ferrari's been pretty mid. But also, there more that he could have done. Realistically, like he still finished like third, fourth, ninth, sixth, like, and obviously the double DNF in the Netherlands for the Ferraris. Obviously, Lewis has caused his own crash. Charles was taken out by Antonelli there. I feel like I'm gonna give it a 7.5 again.
Yeah, fair enough. Fair enough.
Well, Charles is held to a very high standard, and maybe okay. I'm gonna change to N8 because I don't feel like there's been enough bad moments for him for me to justify him giving a lower rating. But it's still not like the Charles that we're used to, just randomly getting there.
I think maybe
Obviously Hungary. Yep.
Maybe my rating is more so to punish the team because I'm looking at them currently and they do not deserve a six average as a team. So yeah, you were saying anyway.
It's like an average of all the drivers. I think that's like a team rating because I'm trying to just judge the driver's performance when it comes to this, but also there's nothing really to judge apart from him beating Lewis Hamilton. But we're not used to seeing Lewis really performing at his best recently. Exactly. Like obviously coming off a season where he's been beaten by George Russell. And yeah, like obviously George is an amazing driver. He's already proving that right now. But Charles is held to the same standard as George.
Yeah, if not bigger.
Yeah. Arguably, yeah. This is a thing. I was actually wanted to give him a higher rating, but I don't think I can justify it. Because
no. I don't think he deserves one.
Like he's been good, but that team is just so incompetent that they couldn't give him a card to actually get that rating. Like if it would have actually finished on the podium in Hungary, like that'll be at least an 8.5. But
and if you think about like how long he spent fighting Antonelli in the last race and this, that, and the other, and
actually,
as I said, I don't think
even 8.5. I think 9.5. I think about it because like that Belgium performance, he got the podium P4 in Hungary. He was supposed to finish on the podium at least. He could have won if he had he wasn't Ferrari. Obviously, Netherlands, he was taken out, running in a good points. Italy, P4, nothing he could have done there. It was behind the McLarens and Max Verstappen Racing. Azerbaijan, that was the crash. That was the one taking him from a 9. And then beaten in the race because of Hamilton not being able to let him through again. And Singapore, again, nothing he could have done better in that car. So 8.5 is strictly points taken away because of Baku.
Okay. Fair enough.
He's a Baku specialist and crashing like that.
Was it not 8th and like 9th, right? They finished in the end.
Yeah, exactly. That's on drivers because Charles crashed. Lewis didn't do much there as well, like as on drivers. But Lewis has been driving badly in like, pretty much the entire season, and Charles has had a bad moment. I feel like this is justifiable to again 8.5 because he's been in the other 5 races. There's nothing really.
Fair enough. I'll be honest. I think we've talked way too much about Charles Leclerc given.
Okay.
His performances. His performances have just been good, right? That's the thing.
Yeah, I feel like it's more just us frustrated at Ferrari.
Yeah, definitely frustrated. Yuki Tsunoda, he's got some points. Great news. He's got a 5th and like an 8th, I'm pretty sure. But that's it. He needs to get the hell out of that team. I don't think he's going to get his old seat back. I think that's going to what's his name in F2? I can't remember his name right now.
Arvid Lindblad. He needs to finish like in somewhere in the standings when he's not there. I feel like he could not get a super license. that's the only thing keeping him in Formula One. I feel like for next season, I don't feel like he stays otherwise, and
No,
probably will.
I think Sonoda needs to be begging other teams right now,
Yeah,
absolute begging, and there isn't really anywhere but Alpine left to go, right?
yeah,
Because the Cadillacs have drivers, and I don't think Aston are going to kick out Stroll or Alonso. He needs to be begging Alpine for a drive, and he'd probably perform well there. I don't think this is his fault, right? I still don't think it's his fault. That car is so one-sided for Verstappen. There's such a focus on Verstappen, but it has been at points this season the quickest car on Verstappen's side at least. So I'm still going to have to punish him. I'm going to give him a 3.
yeah. Same rating as I.
Yeah.
He's obviously been better. Like scoring points is better than non-scoring points, but apart from that, he's been nowhere near Max Verstappen. Yeah, at some points he was like closing qualifying, like in Hungary, it was like 1/10 off. But if that's like the only highlight, being 1/10 off Max Verstappen in qualifying and still getting knocked out in Q2, yeah. Obviously, a lot of people talked about the Baku race that is like that Yuki can keep up that form perhaps or whatever. That still wasn't like that great considering where Max was that during that weekend. Like he absolutely dominated qualifying and the race. Like Yuki finishing P6 should be the bare minimum at that point. And yeah, in Singapore again another very very just disappointing qualifying and the race no progress there. Absolutely no progress. So yeah, 3 maybe could be even lower, but yeah, I'm gonna give you a benefit of the doubt that those points finishes. Um, they they have to have some value, right?
Um,
Okay, did I lose myself in my own thoughts? I can't really tell.
yeah, no, it's
Uh,
okay. It's okay. Yeah, I want him somewhere else. I do want him to. Still want him to have a drive.
yeah, I was thinking that Lawson stays in that Red Bull, Yuki goes to Aston or Alpine. That was like my prediction for next season. Before obviously this season started, and we've seen Yuki being switched to Red Bull. I feel like that thing saved Liam Lawson's career, and on the other hand, Yuki's been killed.
Yeah, yeah. Fair enough. Fair enough. Oh, okay, okay.
Maximilian Verstappen.
Maximilian Verstappen. This okay. Can I just say this is why I gave him such a bad rating last 6 races, right? The 6 races from Silverstone to Emilia Romagnoli. This is why I gave him that 7, right? Because this is the Verstappen I'm more used to seeing. I'm not going to give him a perfect 10 because he was pretty poor. Well, it's not his fault, right? He has a disgustingly bad car. But the fact that the last 4 races he's been in the top 2 every time, 2 wins, it's been incredible. Very deserving of a 9. This is the Verstappen I want to see. This is why I've not given him a 9 up until this point. Still not a perfect 10 because obviously Verstappen, pure Verstappen, pure Verstappen should win every race. So, or at least wouldn't have those. He's got a 9th in these last 6, so that drops him a singular point. But again, that's probably not his fault. But yeah, this is
Yeah,
the Verstappen I'm far used to seeing.
yeah, because that ninth in Hungary, that Red Bull was absolutely awful. But Lauren Mackey's took over, and the team absolutely reshaped itself. It was a completely different story, and suddenly Max is back in the championship fight talks, which is crazy considering he must be like more than 100 points off. The thing he has done in the last, well, ever since the summer break, and even the races before that, like it's been absolutely just Max Verstappen level. He's back to what we can call Max Verstappen, just like you said, and because I'm more like thinking of the car performance at that singular weekend at certain points more than you probably. I mean, it's fair enough. You take a point from him for Hungary P9. I feel like could have done much more. I'm gonna give it a 10 for the last 6 races. I feel
Okay.
like he couldn't have done anything better in the last 6 races. Yeah, this is one moment that I think about like Singapore qualifying, but even then you can excuse that
He
in
also,
some logic. I guess qualifying like,
he did
but
almost kill
still, that George
Hamilton.
Russell. I feel like this was still George Russell being at an elite level more than Max messing up
Yeah,
qualifying.
yeah, that's fair. He did almost kill Hamilton as well at Hungary, if we remember. That was funny.
Wait.
Do you
Oh yeah,
remember?
that one. I
Yeah.
remember that.
That's
But
why.
that was like,
That's why I've taken the point off him. Not really. Not really. I don't think Hungary is entirely his fault, right? But yeah,
Those two in Hungary have history, honestly.
yeah,
Even
exactly.
last year, the crash. And,
Yeah,
yeah.
exactly. They hate each other there. Right. Jumping into Antonelli. Here's what I'm going to say about Antonelli. Right. I think he's going to dub up from the fact that from the format that we've done, right? I think the format that we've done is allowing him to get away with an absolute for like 6 races from like Canada to Azerbaijan. He had not got a single. He'd got 1 point. He got 1 point in a Mercedes, or 2 points apparently in Italy. So I think he's going to dub up from the fact that he has done well in the last 2 races, with a fourth and a fifth. But I'm still not letting him get away with too much. I'm going to punish him slightly more so that maybe he deserves for the last 6 races. I have to do it. I'm giving him a 5.
yeah, it's an improvement over the previous 10
Yes,
that
yeah,
reached
but I think
at 3 DNFs and a podium. So,
yeah,
like,
exactly. He's like he went through so many like from
4 DNFs.
It's been
18th and a
crazy.
podium.
It's been crazy. I don't think. I think me and my brother worked out he'd got like two or 3 points the entirety of the European calendar. Races in Europe, he's got like 2 points.
3. Hungary 1 and 2 in Italy. That's it.
Did he? Where did he end?
3 points.
Yeah, exactly. 3 points, which is shocking after the Miami sprint where where Toto Wolff went. Yeah, you think he's quick here? Wait until you get to Europe. He's got 3 points in the entirety of Europe. There's no other European races from now on. That is it.
Yeah, crazy stuff. Honestly, the absolutely opposite thing happened from the Toto's quote.
He's
Like,
getting very
is
lucky
that-
that he's actually pulled his pants up now and is doing something.
Yeah, like it's really been a tale of 2 seasons when he's not in Europe and he's in Europe. It's completely 2 different Antonellis. But ever since he came from Europe, I mean, also like the last 3 races have been much better than the previous 10 races apart from the podium. Yeah, it's been getting better, but still not quite there. Improvements, but really bad moments like Netherlands. He took Charles out, finished in P6, and because of that, obviously Belgium was overall a horrible weekend. Apart from that, finishing the points, but George Russell has been always getting better of him as well. But also as on George Russell being absolutely elite this season. Antonelli better, but not still not quite there. I'm gonna give it a 5.5. Just like Colapinto, a rookie that's steadily improving, but has had some weaker moments.
Yeah, fair enough. Yeah. I'm thinking, sorry, I was thinking Russell. What do I give Russell? He's been sensational, right? Fifth in the last 2 races. Has he got top 5 every single race? Because that might change my opinion. Fourth in
Yes,
Netherlands.
yes, he did. Third, fourth, fifth, second, and first last time out.
So he basically got every single position.
Yep.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
I think he deserves the same as Verstappen, right? I'm tempted to give him a 10, but I think that would be a bit too far given Verstappen's won a bit more races. But I do think he's been sensational again this season for him. Absolutely mental how good he's been. Absolutely mental. So huge appreciation of him and what he's doing.
Yep. Absolutely insane.
Yeah.
Like it's. I feel like it's fair to say definitely top 2 drivers of the season, Max and George. I think it's controversial to say that those two have been on a level above everyone. Even the championship contenders in McLaren, both of them had their fair share of bad moments. I feel like George and Max, those two, absolutely consistent, quick, just absolutely elite. And the last 6 races, both of them absolutely elite. I feel like a 10 for both of them. I don't give 10s often, but those two in the last 6 races, absolutely amazing. Absolutely maximize the car every single time. Clinical. Perfect.
Nice. Yeah. Fair enough. I think I respect that. I didn't want to give him a 10 because I don't want to put him over Verstappen in that way, if you get me. But I think those two have been the best this season. I think Russell has been the best this season. I'm going to go out there and say it.
Yeah, our rating
I think
averages
Verstappen's
that.
Yeah, exactly. Right, last 2 drivers. They're going to get punished. Now, I do think McLaren isn't the quickest car anymore, right? Or by miles. And I do think it was...
I'm gonna say it's much closer, but in terms of qualifying speed, no, it's not like the clear fastest car, but on race pace, it's definitely still has little edge over the other teams. But
Yeah, fair
it's
enough.
up to the drivers how they use it, and
Okay.
when they're not able to qualify ahead of Max, they can only pray to overtake him in any circumstance.
This, by the way, I want to be clear. This is why I was so shocked that you gave Norris a lower rating than Piastri last 6 races, because these 6 races is far more what I would be expecting, right? I think Norris has had the chance to gain points, right? He's had a lot of chances to gain points, and just little things, little iffy things are coming in. Like, obviously, I know you could put a lot of blame on the team for Azerbaijan for putting him out as the first driver when it just rained, and then for the pit stop. But it was still from a McLaren, from when you have a huge chance to gain on your points. It was still a disappointing drive for Norris. There's been a lot of just missed opportunities to gain a lot of points. Singapore, I know it looked like it was impossible, but just not overtaking Verstappen, that could have been a huge thing for him on gaining points. And then there's been stuff like the Dutch Grand Prix, where he hasn't finished. He was beaten quite well, in the Belgian Grand Prix in the end, despite having a probably better strategy. The Hungary Grand Prix, I'll give it him. That was a really, really good performance from him. But overall, okay. Let me think. I don't want to be too cruel. I'm gonna give a 6.
A 6.
A 6. I'm very tempted to 5 him.
5 Norris in the last 6 races.
Yeah. He hasn't done enough. He's won one race. One race in the last 6.
Okay, here's one race. Finished second in the other 2. Should have finished second in the Netherlands as well, but his car broke down. Beat his teammate in Singapore for fair and square. Azerbaijan, his teammate absolutely bottle everything, and yeah, he didn't capitalize as much as he could have, but still, he didn't crash. So that's the main point. Like the only really realistically thing that you can really take in points from him that it's the Azerbaijan Grand Prix, but yeah, I don't feel like that deserves that much. Like I yeah, I'm not gonna change your rating. I'm gonna force you to change it, but I feel like Lando, this has been the strongest stint this season. I feel like is it doesn't like he's been better, like straight up much better than Piastri, but it's is the is the overall look of the 6 races. Like, what is it? Piastri. When you exclude Azerbaijan, Piastri has been the better driver.
Yeah.
Azerbaijan has
Yes, I
a
completely
very
agree.
big meaning in these ratings that's gonna hurt Piastri's as well.
Yes.
I feel like Norris has been the better driver over the last 6 races than Piastri. He's gonna get
What?
a higher rating because of
Oh god! What?
accumulated rating from those 6 races.
I'm just
Potentially.
shocked. I'm shocked that Norris is better these 6 races than compared to the last 6. That's all. That's all I'm shocked about. But fair enough. Fair enough. I'll let you.
But okay, before that, it's the win in Monaco, win in Austria, win in Britain. Okay, I guess you could argue all of them are good drives. Then convincingly beaten by Steven in Spain. Emilia Romagna was strange. Like Piastri's strategy was weird, and Canada obviously. Canada was comparable to Azerbaijan, but
Yeah. Okay. Fair enough.
not as much.
Yeah. Fair enough.
That's the thing. I'm going to compare the stints as a whole for both the McLaren drivers. I feel like
Yeah.
this has been the strongest Lando stint. Not like anywhere near elite. Still has some bad moments, but definitely his strongest stint. I'm going to give it an 8.
Okay. Fair enough. Fair enough. I'll, I'm not going to question your decisions too much. I think it'd be poor of me to do that. I think someone early in the season, and I defended them at that point, said that whoever wins this, it might be the worst winner of all time. And I still think these are 2 very impressive young drivers that deserve a lot of props for this season. But I am edging towards the fact that it might be the worst winner of all time. I can't lie. It has been extraordinary.
They won't be the worst champion.
No, I know. I agree. I'm purely being hyperbolic. Yeah, I'm gonna. Piastri has done better these last few races, but as we said, if it wasn't for the case that Norris's car breaks down in Hungary, not Hungary, sorry, the Dutch Grand Prix, then Norris would be quite far ahead on points the last few races. They'd be about equal on points, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, they would be like separated by 4 points, I believe. They would lead by 4 points, which is pretty much nothing.
Yeah. And, I think Piastri has still done well, right? I still don't think he's done awfully in these last 6 races. I think he's done well. He is commanding his championship. He does need to do a little bit more to get it over the line, but I still think he will get it over the line, in my opinion, at this point. But I am going to. He does need to be punished for the fact that he managed to almost ruin his entire championship in a minute in one race. Crashing in qualifying, then crashing in, then having a poor start, then crashing in the race. So I am going to give him. I'm very tempted to give him a 6 as well, but it might just go down to. Yeah, I'll stick with that. No, I'm giving him a 6 because I just looked at my drive. But maybe they deserve that average driver rating, right? I think they've been almost equal. I think Piastri's just been a tiny bit better. Plus, you have to put in yours, so we'll see if that changes anything. But yeah,
That changes. Okay. Let me. Okay. Last 6 races of Piastri. Belgium, absolutely great. I mean, he beat his teammate in both points, giving Sessions that overtake at the start on Lando. Amazing, he won that race. Hungary, in hindsight, probably was better to keep the track position, but nothing to take away from Lando there. I think like both drivers would deserve the win if they either of them would have gotten it. Netherlands, his first Grand Slam. I believe the one and only Grand Slam this season from any driver as well. Italy. Italy, McLaren didn't have anything on Max, and obviously, I've expressed my opinions on the entire pit thing rules already many times. I don't feel like I need to get to that. And Singapore, he had qualified Lando, but got dropped at the start. And okay, these 5 races that I mentioned, that's like a 9.5. There's nothing much to say there. But Azerbaijan, oh my god, that's like the worst weekend from a driver this season. Like the single worst weekend from a driver. That's for a championship leader. That is like a 0 out of 10 race.
yeah.
Alongside a pretty much, not perfect, but extremely good 5 races. Very difficult to rank this one. But okay, I'm gonna try to be fair. Lando, I'm gonna compare it to Lando's stint in the last 6 races. I'm gonna give it a 7.5 as well, just like I did to Lando, because yeah, he won their 3 races, but then that Canada crash. This is a very similar thing, but I feel like Piastri has done pretty much the same as Lando did in the last 6 races before that. Maybe this weekend was like this Azerbaijan weekend was worse from a driver point of view compared to Lando's Canada, but Canada, Piastri was able to capitalize points-wise on Lando more than Lando was in Azerbaijan, because the car has been worse in Azerbaijan than in Canada, even.
I think the difference between the crashes, right, is that you can give Piastri maybe 1% of the blame for Canada. That's a bit like a difference. You can't give Norris any blame for the...
Not exactly blame, like obviously Piastri being there.
Yeah, like
it's still... Lando wouldn't crash if Piastri wasn't there.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't think you can really give any blame to Piastri for what Norris does on him.
Maybe. Sorry, yeah, you know what I mean. Whereas Norris isn't involved at all in the Azerbaijan thing, right? He's miles away, and so that's sorry where I was more getting at. But yeah, I think we're about right in our ratings.
My 2 favorite drivers have a combined rating of 9.
Who's that?
Hulkenberg and Piastri. Yeah, they have an average rating of 4.5 across both of them.
Oh, okay.
Not ideal. Who are your top 2 drivers? Obviously, Lewis is probably the first, but who's your second favorite?
I can't split them. I'll be honest. Yeah, including Albon, I'd like to point out, literally can't split them. Yeah, I can't. I like them all too much. By the way, Alex Albon also gets an extra prompts for having the same name as me. Literally, I could not split them in my mind. I like going Ollie.
Who else has the same name? Alex Below. Yeah, I'm sure you've seen the things.
No, I haven't.
Playing around the entire WhatsApp thing. Basically, I don't really didn't really cover that in here because it's like a larger topic,
Okay.
and this was meant to rank drivers, not rank all the things that are happening in the background. But essentially, not great things happening in McLaren. Yeah. Okay. Back to the point. Ranking drivers. I feel like we can look at the averages now. Russell being the only one with a 9. Obviously, Max second. I feel like those two being at the top makes sense. Those two has been the best drivers this season. Then it's Alex Albon.
Yeah.
In P3 so far.
I think I think we're right. Right. I think that is the top 3.
Yeah. It's Piastri at 7.83 in P4, Hajar in P5 7.6, and P6 Leclerc 7.5. I like those 6. I feel like no one can argue those 6.
Yeah, I think we're pretty based.
Yeah, like we're doing pretty good. Maybe Lila could deserve a higher rating, but maybe we were a little bit harsh in the start of the season. I really like that car McLaren at the start of the season was clear fastest. Like.
Yeah, exactly.
They had a very good big gap, and Lando wasn't delivering.
The big thing also
well,
is that it just depends what mindset we're on in that day, right? I think that's the other thing that changes these ratings as well.
Like, yeah, maybe if we would have done the entire ranking for the first 2 quarters right now, we get different ratings.
Yeah, exactly.
But that's the thing we're supposed to this is supposed to beat the recency bias. Well,
yes.
Maybe not directly, but it's like splitting the seasons into parts. I feel like makes the season ratings more accurate, at least from
who's our worst drivers before we end?
Worst. It's tied between Yuki Tsunoda and Jack Doohan, who's only got 1 rating. So I guess it could only go to Tsunoda.
Colapinto's
which is fair.
Just a bit further ahead as well.
Yeah, Colapinto, the second, third worst if you're counting Doohan. Then it's who's next? Like, I think that's a tie between Lawson and Stroll.
Yeah.
Then it's a little bit to Hamilton. Well, Hamilton is like in the bottom 5.
Yeah, no, but he's not because you missed Sainz and Ocon. But no,
Wait,
you didn't. You didn't. No, sorry, my bad. I read that wrong.
Yeah, Sainz really saved himself with that podium in that situation.
Yeah,
like true. He would have been like one of the lowest rated drivers.
I think we're pretty based. That's what I'm gonna say.
Yeah. Yep. Maybe. Okay, I'd like to say that I'm more based on you, but I feel like that's objective, right? Both our ratings are valid. I feel like that's the right thing to say. We're both based, and I'm excited to see what the ratings will look like at the end of the season after Abu Dhabi, with the last quarter, and which driver can move up, perhaps move down, and yeah. Excited for that. We have 3 quarters of the season behind us, and next up, the last 6 races of the season. Both the most important in terms of championship fight with the drivers, with the constructors is 1. Yeah.
I'm excited.
Last thoughts, last words that you have.
No, I'm excited. This is the last part of the season is really gonna change everything, right?
Okay, then. We can wrap it up. It's been a nice hour and something of recording. It's been a lot of fun doing this. And thank you everyone for listening to us waffling about our favorite sport. Well, your second favorite maybe.
No, it's still my favorite.
Oh, okay, it's still your favorite. Okay, thank you. Thank you so much for your support. We appreciate every single interaction, and we'll see you in the next video, which will be next week. For the predictions for the American Grand Prix. I want to say Austin, but
yeah,
the third U.S. race, so the second this season, and the actual American Grand Prix in Austin. Well, my second favorite track on the calendar as well. I'm very excited. So yeah, we'll see you there, and thank you again. Peace.
Peace.